past few days and trying to nail it. So I've been eating a
Hello.
lot of popcorn.
Oh, so you need there's a specific type of salt that you can get on
You Flavor Call?
Flavor
Bought it.
Call, yes, and then
I bought a thing of Flavor Call
coconut
and
oil
coconut butter with beta carotene.
and coconut oil with butter. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
It's coconut oil, and then you have to make sure it has beta carotene
yeah,
in it
yeah. Which
because
is
that's
the
one of the
buttery one. Yeah.
things.
Wow, we've both done the
Yeah. So
research on making real popcorn, which is really funny. Because Flavor Call is like my top. It's my top Amazon purchase. Which is funny. I'm gonna buy more when the Black Friday sales
yeah,
starts
I
on.
I realized I need to add a lot more in than what because I was like, oh, the thing says for this much popcorn to add about a tablespoon. I'm like, but I like it salty as
Yeah, yeah.
fuck. So I was like, let's go a little more. And then afterwards, I was just like, it still doesn't taste right. I'm like,
Mhm.
next batch, I gotta dump way more in.
When I went to see The Running Man, the people that made it that night was the best popcorn I've had in such a long time. And then the movie was disappointing. So I went back and saw Predator the next day. And the movie was so good, but the popcorn was mid. And I was like, fuck, I can't just get one good movie and popcorn
So
experience at the same time.
the one that I need to find though is I need to find the actual I need to get like some actual I know people say use clarified butter, but I've heard that it's actually
Ghee.
oils you should be using instead. It's ghee.
Yeah, you can use ghee as
Okay,
well.
because I want to figure out because there's what it is about movie theater popcorn that gets me is I like doing the dill pickle
Mm,
seasoning on it. That mixed with the movie theater butter that they put on it is it's ecstasy for me. And it's the reason why I will spend $50 to go see a movie in the theaters just to get that fucking popcorn
yeah,
with layer butter. Don't you put that shit on the top. You put that
yeah,
halfway down too.
yeah. No, no. Every
Mix it
every
with the dill
quarter,
pickle. Oh, so
every
good.
quarter,
So good.
the people at the theater I go to, they do it in threes or fours when they layer the butter. So I'm
Uh,
like, yes, good for you. Thank you for doing that.
I would I would feel bad asking them to do it in quarters.
I don't. No, they do it. I didn't
I feel like
ask.
a Karen doing that.
Yeah, no, I don't ask. I just watch them. I'm like, are they gonna do
Yeah.
three or four? And then sometimes
I
they
mean,
do two, and I'm like,
when I go to Silver City Ancaster, I'm lucky if they don't drop it on the floor at one point
that's
and just
fair.
pick it up and
That
hand it to me. So
that's just what Ancaster does. But that's okay because welcome to Geeks with Kids. Today we're diving into episode 3 and 4 of it. Welcome to Derry. Nope, no parenting today as we're talking about this show. Joining me is I wrote in the outline, whoever is coming. This is Brent.
that's-
Brent is coming. We're gonna recap
are
both.
we the only one? Are we the only ones watching it
We are the
though?
only ones watching it out of us, which is
Okay.
very sad and disappointing. Um,
Yeah.
Dave doesn't like horror movies, or at least he doesn't really care about it. So I was like, eh. We're also Stephen King fans. Like when I was talking to
Yeah.
you about The Running Man when I saw it, I was like, it's closer to the book, but it wasn't. But it was far away from
Yeah.
being an Edgar Wright movie. The ending is also super sketch. It was.
Yeah.
y-
I'm
eh.
I'm trying to get Jeff into the show too because he just read it. Like he was reading it at work nonstop last year.
Hmm.
And I told him, I said, if you're a fan of the novel, he's like, oh, I loved it. And I said, do you like the movies? Yeah. I said, you need to watch the series.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm
so
like,
good.
it's not just good, it is fucking good. It is already my favorite show of the year,
Mhm.
and it's creeping into my top 10 favorite shows of all time.
I sort of wish we saw the incident. Oh, this is weird. So we know that Pennywise kills children 27 years, right? In between. But he does end up murdering people in between ish, right? That's how Will died. Um, in between his, from this series to the next one, right? Because he dies in a fire, obviously. From the It
Yeah, but that
movies.
wasn't that yeah, but his dying in the fire wasn't necessarily because of the entity.
I think
That
it
was
I
just
think
a
I think he did die
it
because
was No, it was explained in the movie that they died because of something that Mike did. That Mike was responsible for them dying in the fire because a fire happened in the house and he was too scared to act. So
what?
his parents had to come back in and get him, and then that's how they ended up dying.
I thought they died at the. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. No. Yeah.
No, I can't remember I can't remember exactly, but they where exactly it was. But I don't believe that was just something that it was using against him to scare him.
I'm gonna have
But
to read it again.
I don't think his death was his parents' deaths were related to that.
You know what sucks is I have the It book, but it's the movie cover, and I used to have the old one that was just like the old one before they did the
Yeah,
movie cover.
I had the one with like the green claw coming up out of the
Yeah,
sewer grate.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mine broke and ripped, so I had got a new one, and they only had the
yeah,
movie
mine.
cover. Which
I
all
loaned it and
gone.
I never got it back. So yeah.
That's like my original printing of Interview with the Vampire. Gave it to an ex girlfriend. She never gave it back, and I will never forgive her. That's okay.
I normally don't care about stuff like that, but I when I dated this girl a few years ago, I loaned her my copy of Long Walk because I said this is my favorite novel. If you want to
Mhm.
get a good idea of like what kind of stuff I'm into, like here, read this. And she never read it. And then when we broke up and we did the exchange of everything, the first thing I looked for when she gave me the stuff back, I said, "Where's my book?"
Mhm.
And she's like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, you don't loan books and then give them back." And I said, "Not this book. Give me my damn book back."
That's great. Oh, you
I
know,
I drove an hour to go pick it up from
damn,
her. Like,
damn,
it was like, "No, this is
damn
I
straight.
want this back."
I was gonna buy. So I've talked about how The Life of Chuck is my favorite movie this year, and it's the best Stephen King book or movie for me this
That's
year.
on my watch list now too because I know we're going to be discussing it in a couple
In a
weeks.
couple
So
weeks.
I want to watch it. Yeah.
So I wanted to buy the book because it's also in a collected short, like a collected tomb where they have a bunch of stories, but they're also selling it just as an individual with, what's his name on the cover, Loki. It's $30. It's only 100 pages. I'm not buying 30. I'm not gonna spend 100 or $30 on a 100 page book, right? It's a
No.
novella. Why would I spend $30 on that?
Yeah.
Ridiculous, ridiculous. Indigo. Thank you for going back in focus, camera. Okay, yeah. So we're talking about episode 3 and 4 of Welcome to Derry. We're gonna talk about the creepiest moments, unpack the Kingverse lore, and where it's going. Yeah, we're going deep because we're gonna get into some real mythology. They really deep dive into the mythology in these last 2 episodes. It's fantastic. Some origin stuff, and the return of more body horror. Oh, which this show
Poor
does
poor Margie.
does in spades. Oh my god. So let's jump into this. Episode 3, Now You See It. Episode 3 opens with a 1908 flashback. A young boy named Francis is at a creepy traveling carnival. He sees a freak show, is drawn to uh, a dark man, to this like emancipated man, this really thin dude with an empty eye socket. And his father gives him a slingshot, um, which is setting up things for later. They drive away, their car breaks down, and the boy trades that slingshot to a Shukapiwa girl in exchange for water. She warns him not to go into the forest. They become friends. Don't go in the forest. In the present day, 1962, Dick Halloran goes on a psychic flight with Leroy and Captain Russo, try and find the entity using the slingshot that we had previously seen in the intro. The captain, whose name I can't remember right now, um, is the one who
Um, Captain James Remar. That's
Captain James Remar is what I was gonna say. General Shaw gives them the slingshot, and
yeah.
Halloran uses it as like a watering stick to try and find it. Um, Meanwhile, so during this flight, Halloran vision hits him really hard. He stands up at the back of the helicopter, and in the cargo hold, you see water floating, and then toys, and then he's teleported to its lair. He sees the circus trailer, and then he sees the giant structure in the middle with bodies floating around it. And then he sees his grandmother, who warns him about what's going on. And then the trailer opens and we see Pennywise's eyes. Actually, not the Pennywise eyes, because was it the three or was it just the two? I can't remember. I didn't rewatch it.
I'm pretty sure it's just the two.
Okay, just Pennywise's eyes.
Yeah.
So we
I
move
assumed
over.
it was meant to represent the dead lights, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, always the yellow lights are. We see more dead lights in the next episode, but we'll get there later.
Yeah.
So back in the community, Rose meets with the Shokopiwa community, and they're arguing about what the military is doing. Digging up their land, and they're like, they should really give us money for this land. Give us a better price. And they're arguing about it. Government taking over native land is not a new thing, right? So there's all this arguing, and then we find out that her nephew is also watching the military and seeing what they're digging up. He tells her that it's the car from the massacre 27 years earlier. Um, After Halloran comes out of his trance, his his very hard trance, um, he and Leroy have a very tense dinner, and Leroy describes what Leroy is disturbed by what Halloran saw in his mind, um, and how analytical and calm he is under psychic pressure. Like he's the one who pulled him out of that trance, and Leroy's a little bit sus about Halloran's situation. When we also cut back to the kids who are trying to figure out what to do because no one will believe them. Um, Lily's back from her time at the psychiatric um, institute, and she's trying to become friends with Ronnie again. And the only way they can do that is to get some proof so that they can show the adults that something's fucked up going on. Get Ronnie's dad out of jail. So they decide to go. This is Ronnie, Lily, Will, and Rich, the new proto losers, which I wrote in like a later thing, which I like. So they go to this this graveyard to get evidence, and they see the most fucked up things as they're trying to leave. The ground starts giving up from under them, and then the dead kids that were massacred in the first episode are floating around, terrorizing them. And as they're escaping, Will gets sort of left behind to grab the camera, and he ends up taking a picture right at the end. We don't know what it is, but we'll get to that right at the end of the episode, um, which I think is now. It is it now.
Yeah, we're
So
at the end.
as they're developing the film, they see pictures of the ghost kids. They're like, oh shit, we're getting evidence. And the last shot that they develop is a picture of a clown. So that's episode 3 in a nutshell. Big visuals, big lore setup, and the slingshot comes into play. Um, so we start off with the 1908 Carnival prologue. What did you think of this intro? Um, did you did you feel like this origin of the slingshot was earned for what it's used later?
I mean, yeah, I what I loved about it was I like that it was kind of a through line through the episode. They weren't just going to tell us immediately what was happening here, but I like that they didn't drag it out to where like by you know 2/3 of the way through the episode we know the story of what's going on. But I felt it retconned a lot of stuff that I was like the one negative thing that I had to say about the previous episode was the whole like military. I thought it was kind of hokey that the military is like investigating a weapon that causes fear and what do they really know about it? And this episode really now puts into perspective why they're investigating and how it came to be when we learn, the identity of the young boy and who he is later on in
Yeah,
life.
it's
Which
funny.
I thought was Bowers at first. I thought it was going
Yeah,
to turn out to be Clint Bowers.
I sat there and I was
And
like, this kid
so
is so stupid. He's gonna die, and he ends up becoming this general. And I was like, oh shit,
mm,
shit. I do think I didn't mention in the over in this short summary, but um Francis and Rose meet up at her antique store as well. And he's like, I totally forgot that, you know, you were even a person until I saw the piece of paper. And like and she's like, of course you did you forgot about me. You left Derry. So I'm interested in how they're gonna be working together or maybe fighting against each other moving forward because there was a little bit of that camaraderie slash romance. I don't know as children. Um, what did you think of that?
I like that it is setting up that I think it is going to be more adversarial moving forward.
Mhm.
Because I think Chantel's character, I think, is what's going to become sort of the new person with Rose that she can kind of like because she's new, so she can she doesn't have the memory fog that everybody else has, so she can work through. So I think that that's setting it up that it's going to be more adversarial between Rose and Shaw
Yeah,
moving forward.
I do like that. Shaw had the slingshot all along, like he kept it with him,
Mhm,
and that there was something always drawing him back to Derry.
mhm.
That was really interesting. Um, what do you think of Holloran's psychic mission, like the helicopter going up in the air and him like getting them to fly towards, I assume, right over where the lair is?
So this is going to be another ongoing. This will be one of the ongoing issues I have. Is like the it's more so like they're keeping Leroy at half measures on this mission
Yep.
because they keep bringing him in and they keep not telling him some of the stuff, and then he witnesses something that's really fucked up that's going on, and then they decide, okay, we're going to tell you the real story, but then they only tell him a little bit.
Yep. That does
You know,
bother
like
me
he
too.
wants to know what's going on in the city and everything. You know, like what is going on in this town? What is this all we're doing? It's like, okay, I'm going to bring you in on the loop. You're going to go on a mission with Halloran, and they go on the mission, and Halloran, and he has no idea what the hell's going on because no one explains what Halloran's thing is. Same within the next episode. I'll jump ahead a little bit when he again is like, you know, hey, something went after my kid. I don't know what the fuck is going on. You need to tell me. He's like, all right, let
Mhm.
me tell you a little bit. Let me bring you in. And then says, it shows him what Halloran can do, but it's like, doesn't explain what
Nope.
Halloran is doing. So they're always kind of like, just kind of throwing him enough cookie crumbs just to keep him coming back, but never fully explaining anything. And I know that part of that is a narrative thing about trying to keep the audience in the dark at the same time. But I'm like, for a guy who doesn't is incapable of feeling fear, it means that every decision he makes is rational,
Yeah.
and he seems to be continuously making irrational decisions.
But he's also a soldier, and he's known to, they always do that need to know basis type thing, especially
Yeah,
with special ops. So I wonder if he's just sort of used to it, and he's like,
but
they'll tell me what I
when
need to know now, but then they don't, and it's very
but yeah,
frustrating.
but it's like when you're brought in as like and being told, you know, like help us Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our only hope. You know, you can't feel fear, so you are our only defense against this weapon. But we're not going to tell you everything. Even when you start noticing shit's going weird and you're getting angry about it, we're still not going to tell you everything. And it's
Yeah.
like I feel like, and that's not how James Remar seems to be playing the character. He seems to be playing him as a very empathetic figure, as a very like you know he's not doing this for the pragmatic reasons that the military is doing it. It's like he's doing it because he has personal experiences with this demon, as we
Mhm.
learn in this episode. So it makes his I like that it develops him a little bit more, where it makes him as like you know
Mhm.
he is this military figure who has to follow rules, but he also has personal experience, so he is kind of like you know I hate I know I'm putting other people in this thing that tormented and tortured me, but I have to, you
Yeah.
know.
I do wonder how much he remembers of that, because I remember, I think it's still just slowly coming back to him. I know he
Well,
thinks that there's something or something of importance there, but I don't think he really knows what it is.
yeah. Well, the general consensus throughout the lore of it is that if you forget when you leave Derry, that basically there's a fog over the
Yeah.
town that stops everyone from. It almost like holds time and place. And when you leave, that fog is lifted and you forget, and then you start to gradually forget everything. But apparently, when you come back to Derry and you re enter that fog, the memories do even slowly, but do start coming back. So I think he knows a lot more than he's leading on to be.
Yeah. I wonder how much he remembers. But we'll see. We'll see, obviously, because
Yeah.
the mid-season trailer definitely shows some stuff. We'll talk about that at the end. Um so this episode also really started introducing the Shokapiwa people and their land dispute with the military. They're very important in the book, at least the mythos of the
Mhm.
book. They even talk about them in the movie, especially since they have to do the ritual of Chud, which they haven't talked about in this yet. So I'm very interested if they're gonna explain that. What do you think of Rose meeting with the people?
They kind of are though, like a little bit.
Yeah, no, I know a little bit in the next episode, but
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be more. Yeah, we'll see. Um, yeah. What did you think of them introducing the Shokapiwa people in this episode and how they're dealing with the military?
I mean, it's necessary. I think their real shining moment thus far is in episode 4, not episode 3.
Yep, I agree.
Like there's a lot of stuff to feature on them, and a lot of like big moments involving them. Um, so, but I like the kind of the idea of you know like introducing that you know Francis and Rose as childhood friends and everything, and giving us a little more perspective on one of the earlier cycles. I guess that would have been 2 cycles earlier because it wouldn't
Yeah,
because that would you know
this is the
otherwise that
clown.
would mean that
This the
otherwise that would mean Shaw is like 40 years old, and
yeah, no,
there's no way James Remar is 40 years
no,
old.
no. The cycle, the first cycle is is the carnival cycle. So two of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah. Sorry.
no, go
Yeah,
ahead.
good.
I don't really have much to say about them in this episode. So
What do you think of the so next part of we're talking about the kids. They're trying to become friends again. They become their own little loser group, a little bit closer now. Um, and they're trying to, get proof because no adult is gonna believe them. And I think one of the kids says that, like, I wouldn't believe you if you told me. We need some hard proof. Like, have a camera, hard proof. Thoughts on it
I did.
and the graveyard
So
scene.
so
We're
we
doing
just go into
both.
the graveyard scene now?
We'll do
Okay.
both.
So the graveyard scene, obviously, there's a lot of it I love, and there's a lot of it I'm like, eh. We both discussed
The CGI looked rough.
there was some questionable green screening in that for sure.
Biking,
Yeah,
biking,
it
biking.
was, and like they're all biking, and then every now and then you just see like the two in the back just instantly catch up to them. Like,
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
um,
for
yeah,
a
it's
show
a
with
little
really
rough.
good CGI, this was the sketchiest
Yeah,
part.
but then you counteract that with the stuff with the ghost
Oh
children
my
coming
god,
after them, and that was unbelievable.
ghost children.
So we talked beforehand. You had the conspiracy about whether Phil is alive or not, and
Yeah,
you have now stated unequivocally he is dead.
I
I
think he's
do
dead.
agree. However, I could be wrong. Someone please prove me wrong in this. Phil was not one of the children in that sequence
I thought he was.
because the two that we saw for sure close up, we saw all three of them close up. So we know for sure it was Susie that was chasing Lily,
Yep,
or was it Ronnie or whatever?
someone.
Oh, I think, yeah. We know Teddy for sure.
Yep.
We definitely got a good shot of Teddy. Now the third one is the one that goes after Rich, and before it attacks Rich, Rich looks up at the ghost and says, "Tigo," meaning uncle. He was seeing the
Yeah,
ghost of the uncle that he learned about that
yeah, yeah.
and which stands to reason because we have not established that Rich had a relationship with any of the other three
Hmm.
kids at all. So why would he be seeing them? So
I
I
thought
stand to reason. I don't think Phil was one of the kids in that sequence.
I thought Phil was.
Is he alive? Probably not. But
He could be floating. Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
because
I thought.
his death is the one we never. It's the one we never explicitly saw.
Mhm.
He's now not one of the three ghost children chasing them in that
I
sequence.
wasn't
So
sure. I wasn't sure. I also don't want to rewatch that scene because it scared me.
And the other thing I will say is the trailer for the whole series that showed
I should watch it.
did show that there are more kids joining the group at some point.
I saw that
I
in the
will not say
mid-season
how many.
trailer.
Yeah, and they very, very carefully darkened a couple of them so that the only five you see are Rich, Lily, Ronnie, Will, and Margie.
Do you have a theory? Because I think the patty cakes are joining them.
I don't. I think the patty cakes are toast.
I think they are too, but I think
And
they're going to join them and
I'm
immediately die.
and I'm not gonna go into detail as to why I say that it's not going to be them, but I'm pretty certain it's not going to be them. But I have no I to me I think it's going to end up being one of the oh god, you're going to make me pronounce it, the
Chocopiwa?
Shokapiwa. I think it's going to be at least one of the Shokapiwa
Oh,
children.
it's going to be what's
And
his name? Um Tevin. Tevin? Was that it?
no, because he's an adult. He's more. I think he's going to lead because we see at the end of episode 4 that he leads them to the Nebolt house.
Who's the kid from the Long Walk? Is that Tevin?
That's him. Yeah,
Okay, I wasn't sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be working with the adults because we find at the end of the episode that he's the one who leads them to the Nebolt
Yeah, that's true.
house as
I am
like the
excited
center
about that.
point of everything. So I think he's going to be and there is a shot in uh, the mid-season thing where we see him being led into the Nebolt house by
Oh,
by a
yeah.
couple soldiers.
I didn't see that part. I saw the soldiers. I didn't notice
Okay.
him there. Interesting.
Yeah, it's like there's a shot of them walking up to the house and it's him walking up behind them. So
I missed that.
I think we're going to be introduced to another Shokapiwa child that's going to be part of the group, and I think maybe there's also a Phil in there. We find out Phil is not dead. Like they go down and they find him floating.
I would be very happy if Phil came back. It's really like I watched the teaser trailer today because I was like, I need to see what they posted at least in the first trailer, and it was really just the first episode. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then Will fishing, which we'll talk about in the next episode.
Yeah.
What did you think
But
about?
yeah, I went back over that scene a whole bunch of times to make sure that Rich said Tio, because I was like,
Yeah, he did
to make
say
sure that he was referencing
he
his
did for sure
uncle. And
say
then
his
I
uncle.
even look, I freeze framed and I looked and I was like, that is not Phil.
It's for sure an adult.
And I'm like, and Machete does not do things by accident.
It's
Like
true.
everything is intentional.
True, true,
So
true. What did you think of Leroy and Halloran? They had their mission together, and then they had dinner together, and it was really tense. And you could tell that Leroy's trying to read his mind and stuff, and he was like, I know what you're doing, right? What did you think of them having that tension in
I
their
love the
chat?
relationship between the two of them
Yeah.
because you see where it's going. You see the direction it's going, that they are going to become like strong allies at some point.
Mhm.
And it's like I just love that each one of them is like kind of holding back from each other, and like, and you see it's like they're two people that like want others involved to know everything because it's going to make everything easier, but they're both following orders so closely, but it's like they're just screaming inside that they want to like connect.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they're like
so I
two
like
loaded
it, build it
grenades
with
at the end.
tension.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And
For sh-
like, especially, I think, especially after, I think we're especially going to see something happen in the next episode
yeah.
after all of the events from the fourth.
How many episodes are there of this show? 10?
Eight.
Fuck, only 8?
It's eight.
Oh my god. Hopefully,
One reporter said it was 9 episodes, but then everywhere else I looked, all said it was eight.
hmm, yeah. IMDb says 10. What? That doesn't seem right. Nope, it's 8. They're putting the
Yeah,
next seasons up already.
they're going to be
I
cramming a lot.
I I put a bunch of questions here that I wrote when we were gonna do episode 3 last week. We don't need to do that because we're gonna talk about it in the next episode. Episode 4, the great swirling apparatus of our planet's function. In episode 4, the show starts leaning into the origin myth and some real body horror. First up, Will and Leroy go fishing. While Will is in the water, something horrible happens and he gets pulled down by an entity. Will sees his dad burned and then panics. Um, Leroy comes back, saves his son, and Will's like, "There's something here. There's something evil." And then you see Will's face turn to like pure, pure fear. And Leroy looks behind them, and they see a fucking red balloon floating just over the water. Oh my god, that gave me chills, and I loved it. It looks so good. Um, Back in school, tension is building. The kids go to show their ghost. Why did I put back at school? Back in town, tension builds. The kids go to show their ghost photos to Chief Bowers. You know, they're proof. There's proof of the supernatural. But as they go through the photos, nothing, no ghosts, just pictures of gravestones and bird shit.
Oh my god, pigeon shit.
um,
You know what that sequence reminded me of
hmm,
was My Cousin Vinny.
God, I haven't seen that movie in years. I don't
Just
remember.
I'm watching that, and it was the scene of him like where he's got the one guy and he's showing him all the pictures of like, like, what are these dirty brown crusty things here? Like windows, yeah, windows, and this brown and crust. That felt like when those guys were just like, oh my god, you've cracked the case, bird shit,
Oh my
right out of
god.
My Cousin Vinny. Oh my god, you cracked the case,
Yeah.
dog shit.
Yeah. And you know what? I left something out of this, and I totally need to write it down. So we're gonna go over to Marge, because he had a
Oh, you
real
kind of the lead up to what she does, yeah.
yeah. So Marge and what's her name? Fuck. Uh, Lily decide to
Really?
make amends. They have lunch together, and Marge is like, you know what? This boy likes you. We should go freshen up. And we find out that the patty cakes are setting Lily up to, take a big
Be
embarrassing fall.
embarrassed
Yeah.
horribly.
So Lily goes to the bathroom to freshen up. Marge goes after her. She starts feeling bad, and is about to, tell her what's going to happen when she screams because her eyes start bulging out of her eyes, like out of her head. They sort of look like pillars of eyes, sort of like a snail. They were watching a movie about snails right before this lunch period, and as Marge is freaking out, running down the hallways, Lily's trying to get after her. Marge goes to the shop room and decides to chop out her eye using a
Yes.
buzzsaw. No, wait, no, it was a
Bandsaw.
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 That, but she also had a was that woodworking tool, the one that
Oh, the chisel.
the chisel, yeah. And she was about to
Yeah.
get her other eye out, but Lily stops her, and as Lily pulls the chisel out of her hand, is holding it up like a normal person, like just about to stab someone. All the kids come in and see her covered in blood and Marge screaming. Whew. Um, Before this, I totally forgot to add this scene. The kids were talking. They're like, "Should we give up? Um, who do we trust?" And Lily's like, "There is one person I trust, and it was a person that worked at the psychiatric hospital, Juniper Hill, and I don't remember her name, but she's played by Madeline Stowe. Um, and I don't think they gave her
I
name.
she's Yeah, she's not even credited
Yeah,
anywhere with a name yet.
so there are theories about who she is. Have you heard any of them? We'll talk about it at the end. Or at the next section. Madeline Stowe's character. She's one of the helpers at Juniper Hill.
Oh, she is listed as Ingrid, head of housekeeping at the Juniper Hill Asylum and friend of Lily. But
Ingrid.
it's Wikipedia, so take it for
Yeah,
what it's worth
we're
right
not gonna
now.
believe that. Um,
Yeah.
and Ingrid tells her to keep digging into this. It doesn't hurt that you're trying to solve a murder or these missing children's case, which is suspect for an adult to say. And I just zoomed in again. So, yes, parallel to this, to Lily and Marge situation, Halloran Halloran is at the military base. Leroy has gone there to ask what the fuck is going on because something just attacked Will, and you know he's asking the general. He's like, "I know something's up. We have to know." And general's like, "Well, Halloran's gonna find out." And we see that Halloran is interrogating Daniel, who is the nephew of Rose, of the Shukapiwa people. So Halloran enters Daniel's mind, and he goes back to the scene where Daniel's a child and Rose is sitting there talking to him. And it's like, "You need to tell me the story of it." And he goes into this big history about the Galoo, the spirit, this evil spirit that came from a falling star millions of years before, and how his people um, had kept it at bay until the settlers came in and disturbed the peace, and the spirit grew stronger and stronger. So their people decided to sort of trap it between all of these pillars and contain it, which is where the Western Wood is. It's contained in there. Um, Let me see. What did I? Spirit bound by a falling star, tribe once used shards from the star to make a dagger, trying to keep the Galoo contained. By the end, we're left with something terrifying. Um, the Halloran asks Daniel in his mind where they can find the glue or the shards. I can't remember which one he said. No, he found the
They're
entity.
looking.
He's looking for it, right?
No, not it's not the entity. They're looking to find where can we find the pinnacles and that, like
Yeah.
where. And he says, "Oh, there's a place that
Leading
leads to all
all
of
of
them,
them.
like that central area that leads to everything."
And we go through this door, and what do we see? The Neibolt house. And that's how the
Fucking House on
episodes end.
Nebold Street.
Who, which, it's still dilapidated. I didn't think it would be that in this timeline, or at least in this time frame. I thought it would be
Well,
used.
no, because it burned down in the 30s time frame.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
It was the well house that burned down in the 30s.
Okay. Ugh, so much mythos for us to remember.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the fishing trip. What did you think of this vision about Will seeing his father burned underwater, saying, "You're going to burn too," which is very sad
Which is
and
creepy.
also
Yeah.
true.
Knowing what
And
we know.
and then we see, oh yeah, I was also forgot to say that Will's mother's trying to get out Rosie's dad. Um, she's a activist, so she has
Yeah.
connections. She's trying to bring him home,
And she's
and
flexing her muscle in the town with it.
yeah. And then Leroy, Will is looking out his window with the telescope and sees it peeking at him, but not the it that we know, because it's the TriStar it that we saw in the origin
Yeah.
of 1905.
I like that they're gradually, now that we're starting to see Pennywise pop up in the show,
Mhm.
but not in the form that we know him as, but we're gradually seeing like he's getting clearer and clearer. First it's that photograph
Yeah,
where he's kind of distorted in the background, all fuzzy, and you can't make anything out. And now we're seeing like a very clear silhouette of him.
but a
And it's
proto
like
version of
every
it.
time we
Yeah.
see him, we're seeing like it's getting clearer and clearer. He's getting closer and closer. And
Yeah.
I'd love the choice that he made to do that.
Mhm. What do you think of the fishing trip and the vision?
So, I mean, this was, I would say, probably one of the weaker visions
I
compared
like
to
this
everything
one.
else that they've done. I liked it too, but I would just say, like, for, like visually and everything like that, I think it was one of the weaker ones. But what I liked about it was I like that Leroy is not dismissing this.
Mhm.
And he's not dismissing anything anyone is saying. Like he understands that there's some weird shit going on. And while maybe I don't believe what my son is saying, I believe in his. And this was actually, I'm pulling this line directly from, I watched a little behind the scenes about that
Mm.
on YouTube, where he said like he said I'm not. He's like, Leroy is not believing what Mike is saying, but he's believing Mike, or believing Will's fear.
Yeah.
Like he sees how scared his son is and realizes there's no way that he would be this terrified if it was nothing, if it was
Yeah.
all in his imagination. And I think what I liked about it too is that you take a look at Leroy's face at that moment, especially right before the balloon passes by. And even though we know that this guy got shot in the head and his Abdullah was messed up and he no longer feels fear, he's feeling fear in that moment.
I don't know if he's feeling fear per se, but I know that he can feel something that his son is emanating, right? He
I
knows
think
that
it's
it's not.
maybe it's a matter of like his empathy
Yeah.
towards what his son is feeling right now is manifesting fear inside of him in a
Be-
way that he can't normally feel.
yeah.
But he look on his face like he
He's
is
concerned.
like,
He knows shit's
yeah.
going down. I don't even know if he heard his son before, like when he started running, because I think he actually felt it. Like
I think he
did he hear it?
I don't know because he didn't react until he started screaming.
I don't know. Like I because I thought it was underwater, so you couldn't hear it, and then
But
he
he could
just
hear
started
like the
drowning.
splashing around in
Yeah,
that.
it's interesting. I think
Yeah.
this is a sequence I can't rewatch because it's not super scary. It is disturbing that he says that Vision Leroy says that he's gonna burn too, because we know he is gonna burn um in the future. So what a terrible thing. Um, what do you think of the scene at the cop station where the kids are getting berated for for bringing in
Like I said,
evidence that didn't work?
like I said, to me, it just felt like right out of my cousin Vinny, and I
Yeah,
was I was kind of chuckling about like, when their reactions to it.
for
Like,
sure. Brad Hawk
but I mean,
talk.
I knew that was coming. Like, I
Yeah,
knew that they were not going to see anything.
yeah. Brad Hawk talk on in our chat said that they love my cousin Vinny too. I totally forgot about that scene. I gotta rewatch that movie. It's been years. Um,
I watched it not too long ago, and a bunch of clips popped up. I love that's one of my all time favorite movies.
fair. The Marge sequence. It was it it is up
This
it's up there with the pickle scene for me. What'd you think
so
of it?
this was without a doubt the most unsettling scene for me. This was the one that affected me the most because, like, as you know, I work in construction and carpentry and renovations, and I've taught this work at school as well. So I've been in those rooms and I've been around those tools. And anytime something happens with a tool in the scene, my mind is going a million different places. Like when she was getting onto the bandsaw and trying to get her face in front of it, my mind was immediately going to all of the other things that could happen. Like, oh my God, does she slip and get her hair caught in it and it starts to pull
I
her
thought
hair
that too.
down?
Oh
Like,
my
does
god.
she, because they kept focusing on her bloody hand kind of sliding a bit, and I kept thinking something like that is going to happen. I did a job once where I was in a room with my boss when he cut his thumb off on a table saw. So anything to do with tools immediately just cringes me right out. And Also, anything to do with eyes. The whole sequence alone of when they were out projected and they showed like close ups and you saw like the puffiness around the bulges and everything. Like it visually was like just so unnerving.
I I just
And
the eyes like when they started just slowly coming out of her head and then just bulged. I was
yeah,
just like, no, I can't do it.
and the it would have been different too if it had been Lily stabbing her in the eye, but
Yep.
it's the fact that it was Margie stabbing herself in the eye.
Yeah, and
Like,
like across too. It
oh,
wasn't even just in; it was
yeah,
across. Like she was trying to saw it off. Oh my
yeah,
god,
that eye gone, that
that
eye gone.
that eye
Like,
is definitely gone. She
well,
become
we know she's in a patch the rest of the season,
yeah,
so
yeah. I do like that. Did they show her as part of the group in the trailers earlier, like the
yeah,
preseason one?
yeah.
Oh, okay, that's sort of. But, so I feel
That's
silly
why I
last
said
episode saying that she was a part of the group.
that's why I said avoid it. That's why I said to avoid watching the trailer because the one that they released just before the series premiered
Hmm.
gave a lot of stuff away. Like there's
That's a
still a
fact.
lot more that's in it that we haven't seen yet, which is why I'm kind of staying mum on a few things.
We
Like
still have 4 episodes, so understandable. Um,
there's what looks to be a really big moment coming that they didn't show in the mid-season trailer.
mhm, mhm.
That they did show in the preseason. That
God,
is like
that bothers
holy
me so
fuck.
much. I hate that they do that. Um, this episode really dropped some epic lore, like lore that I've been hoping for because whenever you read the It book and they go back into the history of it landing, of it, starting to get its first form and all of that, you always wonder what it's going to be like or what's missing from that mythos. And having Rose, talk about this story with Taniel in Taniel's mind palace, um, was amazing. What did you think of this giant lore drop? Did it fit in Stephen King's mythos? Yes. And how did you like how they expanded it?
I like that they finally just flat out explained it
Yeah.
to like in layman's terms what's happening here and everything because there's always a lot of like is it a monster, is it an alien, what is it, like is it this physical entity that turns into other things or is it like a manifested and like an energy that can manifest any way it wants,
Yeah.
and they really do a good job of explaining it fully for the audience to
Yeah.
know and understand.
I
And yeah, there's some they retconned a few things from the movies by doing this, which is good I think because
mhm,
it was stuff that people had complained about. But I think that's yeah, I love that they just really lore dumped us like
yeah. I love the
because
idea.
I think they know there's a lot of shit coming because we're only
Yeah.
halfway through the season and there's still a lot. We haven't even been introduced to the what the fuck is sorry, I'm having a brain fart again. What the tragedy of this generation was,
Oh
the
yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
The black spot.
The black spot,
We
yeah.
haven't even been introduced to the black spot
Yeah, we have.
yet.
They've
Like,
they've talked about the black spot, but we haven't seen it.
yeah, like we haven't seen like too much, but we can tell from the what's going to be coming next episode that it's going to be building up to that.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. I like that they talked about the the star or the vessel that it comes in.
mhm.
I like that they were talking about it like a prison and how they ended up taking that and making a prison around it. I thought that was really cool. I really like that
Yeah,
they did that. I like that they mentioned Maturin, like straight up mentioned Maturin this episode with Rose
yeah.
calling them the children of Maturin. Um
And that's
the
what I was talking about before, where we were discussing, like, why the ritual of Judd hasn't really been brought up. But that's kind of what it is,
Yeah.
because that's what they're searching for right now, like the car, all of these other things. Those are the totems that are
Yeah.
a part of the ritual
Yeah.
that have been set up, and I think that's why we're gonna learn why why people are so angry about what's happening is because, hey, we set this up to protect you all.
Mhm.
Stop fucking around with it. Like
Yeah.
you're going to be the ones that release him. Like
Um this episode also really sort of cemented what this show's about. Like it's about different generations and the how fucked up everything is. Like everything, every time it comes, it's a next generation. It's the next generation. So we got the Chocopiwa history. This we get to see the kids, we see the adults. And this episode is really tying everything together. Do you think it's fairly balanced, showing this generational fucked upness, or is it getting too lore heavy? Do you think regular
I
people are gonna get too bogged down by all the lore in this? We are Stephen
no, I
King
don't.
fans, so
I don't think so because I think they've done a really good job of balancing a healthy amount of lore dumping and a healthy amount of visual spectacle and horror
mhm,
for anyone new coming into it. They're doing a really good job of basically being like, hey, if you like what you're seeing in the show right now and you want to make more sense of it, you can go back and watch the movies. You can go back and you can read the book. They're making it very accessible for new people coming in.
yeah, yeah.
You do realize that the stream title you have on Twitch right now is we're breaking down episodes 2 and 3.
What? God damn it! I did write down the right thing, and I wrote the wrong episode.
I
Uh,
just noticed that now.
I should have put 3 and 4. I
Um,
totally.
yeah.
The as I fix this, I wrote down some questions. I don't know why I did, because those aren't great questions. We do end up with the Neibolt house. So what do you think? How do you think we're going into this moving forward? Are they going to go straight there? We do see in the midseason trailer that there are soldiers going, but I wonder how how
I
rash
think
they
we're
are
going
by
straight
going
there. I mean,
straight in.
why
Yeah.
oh, why wouldn't they? Like, they've been running headlong into everything else going on in there right now. Like,
Hmm.
why wouldn't you? This is the first time where they have a significant clue to what they're looking for. So it's like, why wouldn't you immediately go in there?
Yeah. Yeah. I I I agree. Unfortunately,
And
I agree.
I think we unfortunately have to set up a scenario too where we have to have some kind of scenario set up that leaves our heroes, like the children and the adults, without that sense of protection. So we have to kind of sideline the military at some point, and I think
Mhm.
this is the moment that that starts to happen.
That's interesting.
I mean, obviously, like we've seen the mist coming into town in the trailers as well, so
Yeah.
that's definitely going to create some serious havoc as well.
Yeah. And we are mid-season, like episode 4. That was the out of 8. This is really the peak where shit's gonna start going downhill for our heroes. Maybe uphill,
Mm.
mostly downhill, based on who this is based on and this generation's um event. Um, so what do you think of episodes 3 and 4? Where would you put it in the rating? Up, high, me?
I so I think episode 3 to me was probably the lowest of the series thus far, and
Mhm.
not that it was bad, but just
It's a
it
stepping
didn't
stone.
have. Yeah, it was more exposition based
Yeah.
than anything else. Like, episode 1 and 2 were very much like, let's go head on, let's, like throw all the shit we can at you and get you hooked. And now these two episodes are kind of the, okay, now we got to slow it down. Now we got to kind of we have to set the story for the rest of it. So these episodes were definitely a little slower than the first two,
Mhm.
but not in a bad way. I mean, like we're learning. I'd rather they do that. I'd rather they take like 1 or 2 episodes and really like data dump us on everything,
Yeah.
so that we can then go into the rest of the episodes with the knowledge of what's happening and just go, okay, now blow me away.
Yeah. Because the first 4 episodes are really building the mythos of it, like, because no one had seen it, no one knows what it's about. Now we're seeing it, we have the history of it, and now it's just gonna be there. It's gonna be a constant presence moving forward. Are there any? Have you heard of any theories about what's going on, what's gonna happen this season,
I Like I
or
said,
anything you want to share?
so other than watching like the preseason trailer, I've been really avoiding a lot of information. The only stuff that I will watch beyond this is like you were sending me like the screen rants
Screen
videos and
Crush.
stuff like that of like screen crush,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, screen crush videos of the breaking down the episodes, and I've been watching those because there is a lot of like lore and stuff to the King multiverse and everything
Yeah.
that they're drawing from that I'm or references that I'm not catching on to.
Yeah.
So I like catching it or watching it for that reason. But I've been trying really hard to stay spoiler free, but I can't help my mind from just going crazy
Hmm.
about theories in my own head.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to share because a lot of the theories are based off of things that I saw in those trailers
Okay, don't
that
do it then.
Yeah, I wish I had seen.
The
Like,
one theory I like that the Screen Crush has done is about Madeline Stowe's character. Have you heard theirs?
no.
So they're they're guessing that Madeline Stowe's character is Bob Gray's daughter that we see you know in that picture in it part 2, I think, is where they show Pennywise and his daughter from the carnival.
Oh,
So she would be that age at
wouldn't she
that
be?
time because
Would she?
that's she's about 40 years, 50 years older then. So that would be this time frame ish.
I keep forgetting how old Madeline Stowe is because she
She's
looks fucking she's
she's yeah,
fantastic.
she
Like,
looks timeless.
holy
So,
shit.
but she's like 60
Yeah.
years old, right?
Like we
So
haven't seen her in anything in what, like 25 years, and then
yeah,
she comes on screen, she looks almost exactly the same.
that's
Like,
what I like. I messaged you. I was like, "Holy fuck, is this Madeline Stowe?
yeah.
She looks
I knew
gorgeous."
I knew she was in it because I saw her listed as part of the cast before the season.
Hmm.
But I didn't know what capacity because, like I
Hmm.
said, she was listed as uncredited or like
Yeah.
or no character name or anything. So, and I'm
Mhm.
thinking, I'm like, you get someone like a Madeline Stowe, like it feels very Stranger Things,
Yeah.
where they like to bring in actors from like the generation of when the shows took place. Like Stranger Things loves bringing in all the big actors of the '80s and
Yeah.
giving them roles. And I mean, while she wasn't exactly an actress of the '60s, they are going like to
The
the
90s and
'80s when,
80s. Yeah.
yeah, when
Um,
the original like series would have been.
and you don't cast her and just put her in a 2-bit role that we've seen her in so far, right?
No, no.
Oh, I can't wait to see what she is because there is something up with her. There is something up with her. Um, yeah.
So with her, I'm getting more and more on your original train that Phil is alive.
I like that.
And I think that he is going to be one of the kids in the group, and that they have been specifically hiding him for that reason.
I like this. I hope so because that was a good theory for me in the first episode. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um,
And in the preseason trailer, there's a very clear shot of how many kids are in the group, but they very specifically keep a couple of them kind of shadowed so that you
that's
don't
interesting.
know who they are.
So
And
we
I'm
know
like,
definitely know
huh.
Marge is
I
going to be
wonder if
one of
that.
them.
Yeah, I'm like, is that just accidental lighting that they're that? But I'm like, why
Nothing's
is
an
it just
accident.
the two that? Why is it the two that I don't know about are being hidden away?
That's
Like,
interesting. Do you want to talk about the mid-season trailer because they do show something? We do see it in its full form in the sewer. We see some kids banging on a door that looks like there's a fire behind them. At least that's what I assume it is. Knowing this timeline, or this event. Anything else? There's a lot of military stuff in that thing, and some fighting with Leroy and the general.
yeah.
I I
So
do I do
the
wonder.
fire thing
Yeah.
is the fire thing is something that was shown more in the preseason.
Okay. So I won't
So I
ask
don't really
anymore.
want to I don't
That's
want to
fair.
comment too much about that, but it was definitely bits of that were shown a lot more.
Interesting.
So we'll steer clear of that one. But I have to imagine that that's based on what's happening. I would say that's probably going to be around
For now.
episode 6 or 7, like late episode 6 or episode 7 that it
Oh.
happens.
Okay. Because I was assuming that would be an 8.
I
Too
don't
much?
know.
Let's not talk about it.
It's
We'll
not.
figure.
It's not what you think it is. Let's
Oh,
just
okay.
say that. Like
Okay.
it's
That's
not what you think it is.
my second guess is Carrie, but we'll see what if that's my if I'm right about that. I am intrigued at how much they showed of the military and how much they're finding, how much they're exploring this thing because we know by the time they get to the 80s, the military presence is gone. And that's the
Yeah,
next cycle.
yeah.
So I wonder if they do enough that the military just gets obliterated here. And it does look like they're going hard.
And it could be um there again. The preseason there is a shot featuring the military and featuring it.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm not going to say Pennywise because it's not Pennywise.
Oh, that makes
But
me so excited.
there is a visual character that they created for him to portray that is like,
Go-
oh shit.
Okay, so we can't talk about the mid-season trailer because apparently they just point to things
Well,
that
I'm just not gonna. Well, one thing we can talk about the mid-season
yeah,
trailer
go for it.
that they did show that I think is going to when we talked about like that they're just going to slowly build towards the black spot is they pushed really hard on the racial tension
Okay, good.
of what's going on in the town, and the fact that like certain people in the town are rallying against what's happening to Ronnie's father.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And we
good.
saw like a guy emerges from the crowd to go in and try and like shoot and kill him, and then we
Yeah.
saw the visual of like the guard in the background tapping and everything. I think what's going to happen is I think there is the wife is going Charlotte is going to bring some kind of representation of civil rights activism to the town to try and free him,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to free him, and they're all going to go and celebrate
Oh,
where.
the black spot.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I think that's what's being set up with that is that she's going to
Oh
bring a civil rights
no.
movement in there so that they can all go and be burned to death at the black spot.
Yeah, that's a good
And
theory.
that's why we
God damn
haven't
it.
touched on it yet, because they haven't gotten to the story beats that are
Shit.
going to tell that.
That's a good theory. That's a really good theory.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
that's
I don't
gonna.
recall if it was ever stated in the books who the victims of the black spot
No,
were.
they didn't.
Yeah.
Not
So
the
I think that's what's going to be.
and Stephen King gave the Machetes carte blanche to do whatever they wanted. Right.
Yeah,
So
and not to mention it's like because you kind of think that it has to be something of racial tension, because what's one of the things you don't see a lot of in like who are the people you don't see a lot of in the later iterations of the
yep.
movies? Not a lot of racial diversity in
Nope.
Derry,
But
and
they
I
do
think
end up
there's a
getting a
reason for
Chinese
that.
restaurant, which they
Hmm.
didn't in this cycle. Oh man, that's really good. I am really looking forward to seeing Shawshank. Um, that
I don't know that we will see it.
I think they said he has to go there for a couple days. So I wonder if we're gonna
Oh,
actually gonna see
oh
it.
yeah, that's right. She said you will have to go there for a couple days, and that's probably where
That's
like
where
the
that
rally
prison
is being
guard is,
held.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and it
yeah.
makes more sense. Oh, I hope they use the same building, or at least a shot of it, because that would be sick.
You know what? Like was honestly maybe this is a missed opportunity that I thought would have been like really cool is if it turned out that like it was not their last name was not Grogan, but it turns out his name was Otis Redding,
Man,
and he it turns out to be Morgan Freeman's character.
could
But
you?
then that would kind of tell you a lot, because Morgan Freeman freely admits in Shawshank Redemption,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I did it. I
yeah,
did what they said I did.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so you can't be that.
You know, what'd be really cool is if Tim Robbins was there, but not like as a.
Just there's like a little Easter egg as the
Yeah,
bus is driving up. You see him crawling out of a tunnel in the
yeah, yeah.
background.
Right. Oh man. Oh, oh. I'm so excited. I can't believe. I hope people are watching this show, and from what I know, that it is very popular. But
Wait, what year is this taking place in?
1963.
That would be around the time Dufresne escaped,
Yeah, I know.
because he was locked out. He was locked up in the early to mid 40s, and he escaped at 19 years.
Yep.
That'd be really
Or
messed
maybe they
up.
talk about it or something. It gets mentioned.
He
Oh,
gets there like, you can have this guy's cell. We're just wait for us to finish patching the hole.
or they're walking him to his cell, and you see them patching a wall in another cell. Oh man, you know the Machetes are gonna do something. I hope they do. They're good. They're good
Uh,
like that.
Speaking of machetes, that's another thing we didn't talk about was his cameo.
Wait, who did he play? Oh, he's a piano player, wasn't he?
He was the piano player at the beginning of the carnival. Yeah.
Terrifying. Terrifying. Ah, anyway, thanks for chatting about this. I do. Do you want to do 2 episodes, or do you like doing the one, or do you think we should just do one? I don't mind doing either.
Like we're still going through pretty quickly with 2 episodes, so we might as well
Yeah,
just do it every couple weeks with two,
true. We'll see if something else comes up.
or like schedule whatever. Yeah,
I do want to do our
I'm
best.
getting,
Sorry, yeah,
I'm going to be crazy busy coming up, like at the theater for the next 6 weeks,
that's
but
fair.
I should always have Mondays and Tuesdays off. So
I don't think we should do our best of all in one episode. At the end of the year, I think we should just do best of video games, best of movies, best of TV, because we talk a long
well,
time, and I don't.
let's see who shows up.
Yeah, it'll be me and you. We'll talk about the video games one day. We'll talk about things. Yeah, well, Dave will come back because Dave is
Yeah.
finishing up. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But thank you for coming and talking about it. We're going to talk
Always.
about the rest of the season. I really am tempted to do this also with Stranger Things. Because that's coming out really soon. Like we'll do the first
Nice.
block and we'll do the second block.
Is the
after?
first book 4 episodes?
I don't remember. Let's find out.
I think it's 4, 2, and 2.
Hmm. I think you're right.
And they're all like movie length too. They're all like at least 90 minutes long, each of them.
3 parts. The first volume will be 4 episodes on the 26th, 9 days. And then 3 episodes and then 1 episode. On December 31st, we're going to talk about that after New Year's.
Yeah.
Not that night. Although we could. Could you imagine? I got to go for a sec, guys. We got to go talk about Stranger Things. Sorry.
Yeah.
You count
I
down the
gotta,
clock.
but I have to go watch it first.
Yeah.
So.
I'll watch it. We'll watch it. We don't need to watch that ball drop. Anyway, Brent, thanks for coming in, chatting about it. I do like that we like Stephen King so much that we know a lot of this stuff, which is crazy. I really want to reread The Stand and then watch that miniseries that came out like, was it last year or 2 years ago that I heard it was bad?
You never watched it?
No, because people told me not to.
Oh yeah. Here's what I will say: Hamish Linklater was fucking incredible in it.
He's always good in it.
For the 20 minutes he was in it.
Oh, who did he play?
He plays a doctor at like the CDC at the beginning when
Oh.
the virus first started. So you're like, oh, you're a doctor in The Stand. Oh, you're so
he's
dead.
He's dead right away. Oh, maybe
but he was the best part of it. He was
not even
absolutely the best part of it.
Was it not even the dude from True Blood wasn't good as
Everybody was fine. The guy who plays Patrick Hockstetter in the It miniseries plays what's his name? The nerdy guy that goes after Molly Ringwald.
Oh my god.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. I don't remember names.
No. Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway.
Harold.
Oh.
He plays Harold. He was all right in it.
Interesting.
Everybody's like passable. It's like nobody's really bad in it. It's just they didn't do anything with it to make it worth being done. There was no improvement in any way off of the original miniseries. And so much so that, like, what was it, like 3 weeks after it was released, they already announced that they're already in pre-production on another version.
Are they? Is Mike Hannigan going to do it? Because he should.
Mike Flanagan? I think he was attached.
Because he's doing The Dark Tower. And I know that's going to take him a while.
The one that I really wanted to see was, at one point, Ben Affleck was attached to direct.
Ooh.
And I think that would have been. I remember making the comment where I was like, if this was 10 years earlier, I would have been like, what the hell, you're crazy for doing this. But now I'm like, you're crazy to not do it.
He's such a good director. I mean, I would love to see him as in it. I would like to see him in it.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not I can.
He could. Oh man, The Stand was from 5 years ago. Damn, that was back when Matt Moore was still here. Oh damn, James Marsden was in this, and Whoopi.
Yep.
Damn. Yep. It's cast.
It's a good cast. Like it's not lack of performance that does it. It was just felt wholly unnecessary. They changed a bunch of the story too, and they altered a lot of stuff, and it was just like,
I mean,
I think I also have like a warm spot in my heart for the original miniseries. Yeah. So.
I mean, Randall Flagg, Ben Affleck, I could see that too. Anyway, let's stop talking about this because I'm gonna just think about all the Stephen King things. Maybe we do an adaptation of. You know what I have to see?
Stephen King's The Stand will return with a new movie from director Doug Liman.
Oh.
This was published 5 months ago.
Doug Liman in a movie?
And it's going to be a movie version, not miniseries.
I mean, it's so long though. I hope it's multiple movies.
I would imagine it would have to be multiple movies.
I like Doug Liman. He's a great director. He did Edge of Tomorrow, which I think is hilariously awesome.
I'm literally watching that just before we got on.
It's a good movie. It's such a good movie.
I wanted something to put on to something I've seen a bunch of times that I can just like melt into for a little while. And it was like, oh, Edge of Tomorrow.
I need to watch that monkey movie, that Stephen King monkey movie that came out earlier this year. I heard it was good.
The Osgood Perkins one. It's like if Stephen King made Final Destination,
which is what that story starter was anyway.
Yeah.
All right, I'll watch it.
Is it
fun?
It's good.
It's good, fun.
It's
I'll watch
fun.
it.
It's definitely got a level of comedy to
It'll
it.
be in my
It's
top
not.
5 Stephen King adaptations this year. My top 5.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
It's definitely a departure from what he did with Longlegs. It's not that movie.
I
Like,
never watched it. You told me not to, or someone told me
oh,
not
I
to.
never said. Oh
Oh,
God, I
maybe
never said don't watch Longlegs.
maybe it was Dave.
Longlegs is good. Dave was very up against it. Longlegs is good if you're not going in with all the hype that was built up around it.
I
The
don't have the
hype
hype because I
really
don't know what
killed
it's
it.
about.
Yeah, the hype really killed the movie for me. And I also I was able to figure out what was going to happen.
No.
Like I predicted the end of the movie very early on, and that kind of killed it a little bit for me. But Cage's they just released full Nicolas Cage in that movie.
I didn't even know who was in it. All right, well, we'll be back next week, maybe 2 weeks. We'll see what happens. We got some stuff going. We got to talk about the Game Awards eventually. Even though we're pretty sure we know who's going to win everything. Thank you,
Yeah.
Brent, for chatting with me. Thank you out there for listening. We'll be back soon. Goodbye. Goodbye. Well, that's it for us this week on Geeks with Kids. If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at podcast@geekswithkids.ca. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/geekswithkids. Follow us on Twitter at geekswithkidscn. Check out our pics on Instagram at geekswithkids. And you can find all of this good stuff on our website at www.geekswithkids.ca. So if you like what you hear, why don't you hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. This podcast can be found on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcasting app. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.